Yeah, wonderful people, viewers and subscribers. This is BVI Channel 1. I just want to do a quick one because I'm just arriving a radio station where I'll be addressing voter education, sensitization, and the rest of them. You know, for over 2 years or 3 years now, we've been on this, sponsoring it through GGM, BVI Channel 1, particularly to inform the masses. And this morning I was called up to the radio station because we suspended the program for over about 3 months now or thereabout, and I was called up to come and address these issues because of how important it is, and people are clamoring to hear this voice. So before I get in there's something I need to address, which is part of it. Someone sent me a video of Obasanjo endorsing Atiku. That was an old video, but I need you to listen to it.
Vice President Atiku, now candidate Atiku, and to become President Atiku. As a leader, you must understand the fundamentals of the problems you have to solve and be courageous, visionary, and ready to reach out sufficiently to build a credible team of experts, knowledgeable men and women, concerned and interested citizens and non-citizens to work hard and tirelessly for solutions that will benefit all Nigerians and indeed all Africans and all humanity. Mr. Chairman, my dear senior brother, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you have a man who has what it takes in experience, in exposure, in lessons that he has learned, and he has learned his lessons. I tried to teach him a few of them. You have a man who has what it takes at this time for us to have a change, and we need a change for the better. Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the Lagos Island Club, distinguished audience, thank you for affording me this opportunity to be here.
Good, you had it. Some people were of the opinion, what would be the difference? At Obasanjo, you endorsed Atiku the other time, and today you are endorsing Peter Obi. What difference will it make? When you endorse Atiku, he failed. What difference will it make that you are endorsing Peter Obi today? I want to let you know that in as much as I agree to the fact that endorsement will not deliver Peter Obi to Aso Rock, no matter who the endorsement is coming from. What will deliver Peter Obi is you, the masses, the suffering people of Nigeria, going all out there, collect your PVC, vote, defend your vote as your life depends on it. And truly your life depends on it. Because if we peradventure, by any means possible, have the same crop of politicians that have made your life miserable back in power in the name of APC or PDP, you are finished in Asoro. Oh, you are finished, completely finished. Okay, and I also want to tell them, you know, someone actually from that same video said that why were you endorsing Atiku then? What value was he selling? Yes, honestly, at that time Atiku had value to sell, and that's value is Peter Obi. he was running with Peter Obi. That was the only value Atiku had at that time. But today, Peter Obi is standing out. And I can tell you, he's standing out as a candidate, not as a running mate. Truly raise the hope of Nigerian people, because many Nigerians, as you see it today, or as you have it today, have lost hope in both APC and PDP. They want an alternative, and Peter Obi have stood out as an alternative. But having Peter Obi and this endorsement with obedient rallies happening everywhere will not deliver Peter Obi if you fail to do your own bit, starting with sharing the videos we are dropping on this platform. That is where it starts from. Go out there, collect your PVC, vote, defend your vote, make sure your vote counts. It's your responsibility. I'm going in there and I'm going to just give you a highlight of what transpired there. And I hope from there I'll be signing out. But don't forget to subscribe, like, share every content we are dropping here, because they are fully loaded. And what I'll be attaching to this video of the program I'll be having right there will just be an extract, and I'll publish the entire video later so that you don't miss a thing. And I want to say this before I move out, that the importance of we reaching the grassroots depends heavily on what we do, like GGM and BVI Channel 1. The social media is limited because very few people have access to internet. But through radio, we get to the grassroots. People get the message down to the grassroots. And physically, we also go there. So your support, financial support is needed, especially those of you who has the means. I'm not dependent on Labour Party or Peter Obi. We are not looking up to him. Do it as if you are doing it unto yourself, because it's actually unto yourself. So that we all together can free ourselves from bad governance, from bad politicians, from misleaders, because that is what they are. I'll keep sounding it. Labour Party, what they can do is very limited. But you see the support groups like GGM driving it to the grassroots. You cannot have an alternative to that. And I hope the Labour Party and Peter Obi, who is watching this platform, will activate all the grassroots through the churches, through the obedient movement, through every support group, to be to stand out as party agents for this election. We can't afford to lose this election, because the freedom of every Nigerian, irrespective of where you come from, depends on it. I'm signing out. Just watch this attached video. I'll be adding to this just an extract from what we'll be doing on the radio program, and expect the full video from the whole process. Stay blessed and stay connected to BVI Channel 1. Bye-bye for now.
Okay.
We are here to do justice. Recall, this program is voters education, as powered by Hope Givers Initiative in partnership with Civil Rights Consign, with support from Christian Aid Nigeria. And then I am Tony Olisa Mbeki, and we are here doing justice to the topic we have this very morning. And for some of you who may perhaps did not join us when we began, we have set out for ourselves what we'll be looking at this morning. Before I introduce the next guest that just joined us this very morning, we are looking at the new Electoral Act 2022. We are looking at the changes in the Electoral Act. We are also looking at the accreditation with beavers. We're also looking at compulsory adherence to the use of beavers. And we're also looking at the issues of overvoting and the issues of electronic collation and transmission of results. And these are the issues we are looking at this morning. We've started by doing justice to what an Electoral Act is all about, and then why is it being called New Electoral Act, and the changes, we have read them out, which we are still in. And then we are doing just as we have scheduled to do this morning. We have Ikechukwu, who is from Civil Rights Consign, who is here with us in the studio. And then we also have Comrade, my very good friend, who has just joined us. It's good to see you, Comrade, after a very long time.
Yeah, it's quite a pleasure to be here once again. Tony Olisa Mbeki, thank you for having me today.
All right, and then we are looking at the old ways of doing something and the new ways of doing something. But before we move straight into that, what would you say about the new electoral act we have in place? Do you have confidence in it, or do you have a praise for president who signed it after 4 different attempts where he turned it down, citing different reasons, which he eventually signed? But then, I mean, with that addressed, the confidence Nigerians would supposed to repose in the electoral system. Let's get a thought before we go straight to the other one I had wanted to bring up before now.
Okay, thank you very much. The truth of the matter is that the new electoral act, as they have it now, which is an addition to what is being there before, is an improvement, and is better than what had been there before now. That it is better, and the target is actually to increase the confidence the Nigerian people have in the electoral process. That is the motive, that is the bottom line, because if you look at Nigerians, many of them have lost confidence in the electoral process, and that's why many of them are not interested. If you look at the level of voter apathy in Nigeria, just as a result of the way elections are being conducted, people see it as a waste of time. At the end of the day, they will always have their way. I mean, the people who do not have the mandate of the people will have their way. So, but with this electoral act, the people need to know, and that is why it is important this program is happening. And I thank you, Lisa Becky, and the sponsors of this program, seeing the need for the people to know what is on ground, what has changed so far. So the underlining factor that is associated with this new electoral act is to improve the confidence of Nigerians in the electoral process overall.
And just like we asked earlier on, is it wise to say where electronic device fails, cancel the election in that area and schedule another election within 24 hours, or to proceed with incident form? Before now, we have, just like Ikechukwu, said that has eliminated corruption, that has eliminated malpractice. Those who may not have been registered would have been used to cast votes.
Yeah.
But then, how do you see that?
No, you see, like when you were, I was following the program while coming to this place, where you were reading out the other section that said if the electronic device didn't work, or perhaps bringing in electronic device as part of the electoral materials, and as being law, if that electronic device is not there, in a situation where you come to a polling unit and there is no electronic device like beavers and other verification machine, if they're not there at the polling unit, according to the law, that election in that polling unit is null and void. And you know, in the past, sometimes in an election, just take for instance, in a polling unit, the people will wait from morning to evening. They didn't see any ballot box, they didn't see any ballot paper. And while they are waiting, someone somewhere is busy writing the result. Is busy writing the result and publishing as the people have cast their vote. This is what have been in the past, but with this new law, it will eliminate all of those shit. All those malpractices will be eliminated, and the politicians will know that it is no longer business as usual, and that is why they are diverting and shifting their narrative towards vote buying, because that is their last bus stop, that is their last card and check up to buy votes. So the introduction of this if you look at when they were debating it at the National Assembly, the use of electronic transmission of result and the rest of them, many of them were going against it because they know that if that is applied, it will affect many of them. Many of them will not come back. So it is a welcome development.
But where I'm concerned is subsection 2 of section 51, which says that where the number of votes cast at an election in any polling unit exceeds the number of accredited voters in that polling unit, the presiding officer shall cancel the result of that election in that polling unit, and then it goes on to say that there shall be no return in that polling unit. And where the result of an election is cancelled in accordance with subsection 2, there shall be no return. And for the election until another poll has taken place in the affected polling units. But one would wonder, when you have beavers, would there be any case of overvoting? Because beavers is a digital device that ensures that before you vote, you must be a registered voter, you must have presented your voter's card, and it must capture your thumbprint and then face. That is why it's called Bimodal voters accreditation system, beavers. Now, with that in view, can anybody think of overvoting? Because I don't see it happening. To think of cancelling an election in that area. What do you have to say?
Okay, the possibility of that happening, Nigeria, anything that doesn't happen in Nigeria does not exist. Anything can happen in this country. We have seen it in the voters registration. Despite the process, you still see some kind of I'll call it manipulations or not connecting kind of data, and when it comes to election proper, the use of beavers, basically beavers is going to be used to transmit the result. And from what we've heard, beavers will serve as a means through which you can transmit the result from the polling unit to the server directly. Now, addressing the issue of overvoting and using same as a measure to either cancel or uphold an election, what would even warrant a situation where we have overvoting? If 100 persons comes to a polling unit, they accredit 80 persons. What then will result to the overvoting? The only thing that can result to overvoting is where someone who is not accredited is allowed to vote. That is the only way. And I think INEC official should be punished for that. They should take it very seriously. The only way there will be an overvoting in that Bimodal setup is that you allow people who are not accredited to vote.
Without accreditation?
Of course.
That's the only way.
That is the only, there is
and
no two
you
ways
allow
about it.
people voting without accreditation.
That is it.
And if that is done, it means that...
And why would somebody vote without being accredited? It is simply because the person is not either registered voter, is not supposed to vote there, or is not even up to the age to vote.